And just like sometimes I end the night on like this bitter pill, and then after it's over, I just kind of sit there and just like what the just happened to me. And it takes me like 5 or 10 minutes to recover from this 30-minute just onslaught of emotion. Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and well, that's pretty much it. So let's go.
This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we break down one of their records. We get into the music, the lyrics, how it was made, and everything in between. My name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. All the social media is at Asinine Radio. Follow us on social media. I already said that. Anyway, whatever. We're in Sad Boy season. We're in the middle of Sad Boy season, and this week we're getting it. What are we doing today this week, Jeff? I'm all over the place.
You are all over the place. We're doing the Dashboard Confessionals in their album, The Places You Have Come to Fear the Most. I can't not sing it every time.
You got to sing it every time. All right. Yes, we are. We are Dashboard Confessional. This is their second record, really kind of their first record, because Swiss Army Romance, that was kind of a shelved record, but whatever. I don't know. The Places You Have Come to Fear the Most. This is sad. This might be the saddest boy of all sad boy seasons. Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. I mean, what we're rounding the whole season out with next week, some might argue is more sad boy, but this is just raw emotion on this record. It's so over the top. It's so annoying. Oh my God, it's so annoying. So let's get into our origin story with Dashboard Confessional. What do you got?
Yeah, mine's with obviously Bandcamp. Everybody knows Bandcamp.
Yeah, it's your favorite.
Even though it wasn't fucking Bandcamp. Idiots. Fucking idiot. But,
fucking idiot, David.
Dude, yeah, Idiot David. Friend of the pod, Idiot. That's his name, Friend of the pod, Idiot. Dude, Chris Kravitz is the reason I started playing guitar. That is 100%. He is the reason I started playing guitar. I wanted to play sad boy songs. I wanted to play Screaming Infidelities. That is the reason I started playing guitar. I see people playing these songs at camp. I was like, these songs are fucking amazing. I like that. I like that you can play these songs on the acoustic guitar and make them sound like that. And people at camp are pretty good guitarists because they were already doing like open tunings and shit. And I was like, wow, that's pretty fucking dope. I like that. There's a lot of good sounds coming from these songs. So. Yeah, honestly, the reason I started playing guitar is because of Chris Kravitz. He's still in my top 5 like favorite guitarists of all time. Just, I love the way he plays guitar, and he plays a Telecaster. Like his favorite fucking electric guitar is a Telecaster, and that's my favorite electric guitar.
Yeah,
dreamy,
a dreamy man, a man who has not aged. Like we mentioned at the end of the last episode, the rankings episode, the man has not fucking.
Not even fair.
It's insane. Yeah, it's not fair at all. Because the guy already had, an advantage. He's a good looking guy. And then on top of that, he doesn't fucking age. Like what happened?
Dorian Gray or some shit, dude. Fucking does not age. Irritating.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was right, I guess like specifically we would be Screaming Infidelities from Swiss Army Romance.
Mm-hmm.
From the 2000.
Okay.
That was like my first real introduction to Dashboard.
And the rest is history, is love.
I'm still going strong.
All right, my origin story is also Screaming Infidelities. I don't know. I don't think it was the Swiss Army version. I think it was the full band version that I heard for the first time, and I hated it. I hated that song. I hated Dashboard. I hate Vindicated even more. I never ever liked Dashboard. It wasn't until several years ago where we actually did this record on the podcast, which it was about damn time we did this episode again. Where I realized there's some good shit, and honestly, Chris Kravitz is a very good guitar player. I agree with you on that. He's not like a flashy Eddie Van Halen kind of guy, but he does some really cool stuff. He's just a good songwriter. He really is a good songwriter. Even though I don't really care for the music, he's a great songwriter, which is a lot. I mean, that really says a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Screaming Infidelities, that song, even to this day, that song's it's too much. It's too emo. It's too sad boy season. I don't really like that song. It's not a stinker, but I just don't really care for that.
There are no stinkers on this record.
That's my origin story, and also kind of my initial thoughts on this record, the places you've come to fear the most. So what are your real first impressions on this one?
I never get tired of this.
As the dog barks in the background.
I never get tired of this record. I really don't. And every time I put this record on, and this is one of the maybe like 5 or 10 records that I end the night with. And it's just like sometimes I end the night on like this bitter pill, and then after it's over, I just kind of sit there and just think like, what the fuck just happened to me? And it takes me like 5 or 10 minutes to recover from this fucking 30-minute just onslaught of emotion. And it's not even it's not necessarily that Chris Krebs was inherently just sad at this time. He fully embraced his emotion. He said, here is how I am feeling right now at this moment. I'm going to write a song about this specific feeling, and I'm going to just fully embrace that emotion and that sound. Here we go.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I already talked about my initial thoughts and everything.
Do you have stinkers? You should have no stinkers here.
No, I don't have any stinkers. I really don't. Like I was saying, I think he is a really good songwriter, especially on this record. I think he's an excellent songwriter. It's just not my style. Like I can definitely appreciate what he does and his talent, because he is a truly talented guy. But it's not for me. I mean, like, I'm never gonna get this on vinyl. I would only ever go back to it like if I'm with you or whatever, you know, and a couple songs on here I would go back to, but otherwise whatever. Yeah, so I have no stinkers. I have no okay songs. I have 5 bangers. Let's just say that. I do have 5 bangers. Not all of them are playlistable, but they're still bangers.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I'm sure we'll talk more about his guitar playing, and because once again, I think he's a very good guitar player. Not a bad singer either. Like he's a good singer.
He's a great singer.
He's like, I mean, I guess we'll talk about it with some of these songs, and as well the lyrics. I've most of what I have written about are his lyrics, because they are just so sad. Like, they're not sad, they're just emo. They're just
real,
so
baby. They're real.
Dramatic, dude.
They're real.
Dramatic.
That's life. That's life, dude. Life is dramatic.
But
relationships are stupid.
Much out there. He put too much out there, and I get why he has so many fans, so many specific fans.
What would be dramatic is like Hawthorne Heights, like cut my wrist and black my eyes, like that fucking dramatic.
This is getting close.
That's silly,
man.
But no, this is real. These are real emotions that everybody goes through in relationships. He is no different than everybody else. These are basic things, but the way he can like articulate those thoughts, and the way he can kind of like write stories and provide imagery for the most like mundane basic of just like fighting and breaking up is poetic. It really is.
But it comes off as a little strong. It does come off as
That's
a little
because you're an emotionless fuck. That's why. It's because you're a monster, dude. Jeez Louise. Pepper squeeze.
All right. So, yeah, you said you have no stinkers. Do you have any okay songs, or are they all?
No, I have 10 bangers, and they're all fucking tied for one.
It sounds like me. It's something I would say. So let's get into your 1B. What's your number 1 banger?
Sad Boy season has just been like, dude, last night, too, as I was winding down, I was pretty toasty, and then I watched the OC, and I was like, all right, it's time for bed. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking listen to Death Cab, and then right afterwards, I'm going to listen to this as I go to sleep. So I listened to them back to back, and it was just, woke up just like drenched in tears is what happened.
Wait, isn't it kind of weirdly coincidental that we're like heavily into the OC, that TV show right now, and then we're also we're in the midst of Sad Boy season, where we do Death Cab and Dashboard, both of which are heavily mentioned in that TV show.
Yeah.
It's a weird coincidence, right?
Yeah, and Seth has a fucking transatlanticism poster in his room.
Yeah.
And it's like every time they go into his room, there's a point that the camera angle shows that poster.
Every time, yeah.
Fuck, that record is so good, too. You're fucking wild.
It's fine.
Okay, what was your stupid question?
What's your 1B? Your number 1 banger.
The title track, dude. The place that you come to fear the most. That is that's my favorite Dashboard song, outside of like hands down acoustic. But yeah, I fucking love that song. I love everything about it.
Wow.
Wow.
That's my 3B. That's my 3B.
This is the one that Mike and I sing the most. This is the one we no matter what Dashboard song we sing, it will at least include this one.
Yeah, you and friend of the pod, Mike, you guys have this thing where, man, one of you just starts singing one line of a song and you'll sing the entire fucking song.
It's just like a trigger thing.
At least
too.
a whole verse.
Even if we're out somewhere and someone just mentions like a line that from this song or this record or Dashboard in general, if someone just says like, "Oh yeah, that pill's pretty bitter," like, "Oh damn," and then we just immediately go into it. We have to.
It's funny. It's funny, definitely. It is funny.
And you're right. Like we don't just sing like a verse. It's like we pretty much sing like the song. We gotta go through the whole thing.
Then, you know, like Mike gets all dramatic. Like he'll like stick his arm out and like he'll grab your shirt and then sing. And then he'll grab like his heart and start singing.
You gotta clench your fists and then you gotta clutch them together, like so both fists are together against your chest. And then you gotta put your head down when you're singing like sad stuff. And then when you belt it out, you gotta whip your head up.
Oh yeah. And Mike is the king of doing that kind of shit.
Kayfabe, dude. You gotta keep kayfabe. But yeah, The Place You've Come to Fear the Most is my favorite Dashboard song here.
It is very good. It is very good. I also broke down the lyrics like by the verses and choruses because every song kind of tells a story. But I'm sure we'll get into that as well. So yeah, this is also my like I said, this is my 3B. I like how it's an acoustic song, which he does best. Just him and the guitar, and dude, the way he's just strumming those chords, he's hitting them really, really hard and fast. It's like it's punk. It has the punk sensibilities and the speed and the passion, but it's just done on this acoustic guitar. And then you bring up the harmonizing with Jolie Lindholm in the choruses. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
So Kravitz, like throughout this entire album, he pretty much uses like an open D tuning, and so when you're hearing a lot of these like higher notes, especially on this one, the higher chords, because it starts with that, you're hearing that essentially with like the low D, and then I don't know what the open D on the high E string would be, but you're hearing those as just being open notes, and so even though he's sliding up and down on the middle strings, like the outer strings are still open, and so you're getting a lot of just that resonating D sound. And so like this whole song is based around that. And so when he's singing here, like the buried deep as you can dig inside yourself, when he gets to the you're barely scraping by, when you get into there, he kind of softens it up a little bit. Kind of like slows it down, softens it up a little bit, and then he gets into the chorus, but this is one time, but that's not where the chorus really starts, but this is one time. And then he says, then that you can't fake it hard enough to please, that's when the chorus really starts. Hits the strings a little more aggressively. The kind of open D thing is not quite as aggressively open. It's kind of deadened, and this is where like his great guitar playing comes in. He's not great here. He's a good guitar player here, but he refines his craft like throughout the later years and becomes a phenomenal acoustic guitar player because he uses all these different like pickings. Right, he's not just like flat picking. He's using like the what do they call that? The Travis picking. With the alternate picking, he's using the Travis picking to where like his thumb is hitting like kind of like the bass line because there's no bass player here, and he's kind of hitting off notes. But he's also like throwing melodies in there. There's a lot of nuance there. There's a lot of like dead strings being hit. There's a lot of harmonics being hit. Dude's a phenomenal guitar player, really is.
I agree.
And the way he like tunes the guitar is fucking weird too, because you can see in the early days when he had like he plays, what does he play? He plays a Martin fucking what's it called? Like a Martin's 018 guitar, and that's what he plays like mostly. He loves that guitar, but his early days it was notorious for going out of tune mid song. And so at the end of like this Bitter Pill or whatever, when this album came out and he was touring, like after he was done, he would have to like hold the crowd's interaction as he tuned his guitar again. And so sometimes what he would do is that D, if he's doing like open D, he would tune that D, but then like do it an octave higher. So those strings are wound so fucking tight, they're about to snap. And so now that D now has like a higher octave to it to match his guitar or his voice. And so if he's doing all of the strings like that, tuning them an octave higher, some of the songs you can tell that he sings a little bit lower in like a register. And that's because his guitar tuning at the time was so much higher that he decided to sing lower. And it's just like, dude, this guy is putting so much effort in just like the way he tunes the guitar and the strings he's using and the guitar that he uses, that he writes these brilliant songs and it comes out perfect.
Yeah, I mean, even taking the technical aspect out of it, like what you were just saying, it's just it's his the way he strums and just the nuances of his actual strumming hand. It's not even his picking. I'm not saying his picking. His right hand, the way he's just like slamming those chords, just hitting those chords so fucking loud, and then he'll bring it down in the verses to where it's just like, so he used like the way he uses the palm mutes in some of the verses is just so, it's so perfect. It just adds to the whole nuance and the feel of the song. And then you hear the build. You hear the build from the palm mutes, and then you hear a couple strings. He stops with the palm mute, and then it builds, and then it just crescendos into the choruses. And this works the same way without the palm mutes, but it's just like he's essentially playing the same thing throughout the entire song. It's just how hard he's hitting and with how much passion he has behind his voice that really changes it up between the verses and the choruses. And this is one of the more, honestly, this is one of the more straightforward songs on the entire record because of that. He's not churching it up. He's not doing anything fancy, like from a technical standpoint. It's a very, very straightforward song, but the passion's there. And like I said, that harmonizing with Jolie is fucking solid. It's top notch stuff.
Even where he strums the guitar on the neck, right? If you get the hole in the guitar, if you're doing it higher on the neck, you're gonna get a different sound rather than if you're strumming next to the bridge. You're gonna get more of like a cleaner kind of like really, really crisp tone. And in this song, the second chorus is when he really belted. You can't go. That's when he's really hitting those fucking open strings, and he's really getting like right in that fucking heart, right where everything's just like belting out and resonating super high. Whereas in the beginning of the part, he's kind of going up a little bit higher on the neck, so it's the tone's a little bit down, like if you're turning the guitar tone down on an electric guitar, but he's playing acoustic, so he just kind of goes up on the neck a little bit to kind of like soften everything, but still belt out the chorus. Like just really, really using the acoustic guitar to its full capabilities. And honestly,
which most guitarists don't do.
Besides like classical guitarists that just like kind of just shred in a classical style, no mainstream guitarist really utilizes the acoustic guitar the way Chris Grabba does.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I agree with you.
This is one fucking thing. You're right. This is not even like the most like brilliant or exotic of the songs that he does. And there's still so much nuance going on here.
There is. Yeah. That last chorus, man, when he gets like extra emo and starts wailing, hitting those chords super fucking hard. Oh, it's good. And then that instrumental outro that he does that fades out. But then he adds like that. He adds the reverb on it. So it's a nice little touch, which he doesn't do much of. He doesn't really mess with effects. Like when he's just playing, actually he never messes with effects.
Because he fucking hates, he actually does. He does a lot, and he has a specific tone in mind. That's why he only uses that Martin. I think it's a 018 acoustic guitar. He almost exclusively uses that one, and he uses a lot of the Fender Telecasters. But then he also has like a bootleg one that he uses a lot too. But he's specific in his tone, and he thinks that like certain guitars, especially the acoustic guitars, they don't have the full range that he needs from it, and he doesn't like the sound of just plugging directly into an acoustic guitar, and then going into an amp. There has to be like this other effect pedal that he fucking uses. I can't remember what it's called. I never even heard of it until this week. Actually, it's called like a D1 or something like that. And he has to go through that. What is it? A delay? It's not a delay. It's just it's something that was invented because like modern, I don't know, electricity. I don't know anything about electricity, but it was something that was invented because electricity happened. Okay. And he says that he hates the sound of like acoustic guitars being plugged directly into amps. He fucking thinks it sounds like shit. And so he always has to use this specific effect. And he likes the Martin guitar because the low end on that, you don't need to EQ it out in like post. He thinks it's perfect as is. And so that's why, like in the beginning days especially, he would use the same fucking guitar, and it would go out of tune mid song, like I said, and then after every fucking song he had to retune it. You can watch like early videos of him; he's retuning after every fucking song, and that's why he tunes.
Pain in the ass.
But like that's the sound that he went for, and I like it. I think it's hard to tell on these because these are recorded like old, and they're not, like uber professional recordings, right? They're just it's drive-through records at best. So like, what are you really getting from there? And it's hard to hear live because they're not like pro shot stuff, and it's not like audio file quality. But like I have seen him live, and I do, for whatever that's worth.
You have?
Yeah. Like I
when did you see him?
I see him at the Glass House.
Really?
Shit.
Wow. I didn't know that. Okay, sorry. I just had no idea.
Shit. Dude, I cried the whole time. I cried before I was in line. I was crying as I walked in. No, that's not true. I would cry though if I had to.
If you had
I don't
to.
know. If I had to. What does that even mean? If I had to.
It doesn't mean anything.
You better cry. All right. I'll cry.
Who'd you go with? When was this? Was this high school or was this post?
This is high school.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. All right.
This is
very good.
It was very good. You're right. The concert wasn't great, but it was very good. You're right.
I bet nowadays, like when he actually plays, or for many years, when he plays live, I'm sure he has like some sort of, like what is that line 6 thing that's really popular? It's called like a helix, I think, where you essentially just like create your tone within this software to sound exactly whatever you want it to sound like, and it never goes really not out of tune, but it just like it's your specific tone. Does that make sense? Like it's okay. It's like an amp simulator. It's an amp simulator, so you don't have to lug around various amps and everything like that. Everything is built into this. This line 6, into this helix, and that's probably what he probably does, some shit like that, so he doesn't have to constantly retune and have that particular effect. Like it's probably so much easier to do that now than it was 20 years ago.
I think like what separates like a good musician from like just a musician that's on a different level, not necessarily a better musician, but just one that's on a different level, is something like that. The pursuit of tone, right? That whole concept. And when you know what your craft is supposed to sound like, when you envision it in your mind and you're trying to like get it out via signals, right? Because it's also electrical signals that are being put out.
Yeah.
It really is that pursuit of tone. And it's meaningless to like the vast majority of people, but to you, to the artist, like honing that craft is like a never ending battle. But like, I think Chris Carrabba achieved that early on because he was just so in tune with what he was trying to convey lyrically and then also through the acoustic guitar. And like you said, the singer-songwriter thing, like people think like Joni Mitchell's Blue album is like one of the greatest singer-songwriter records of all time. And that's like a 1970s thing that resonates with that generation, but it's still pretty good. I don't really like Joni Mitchell, but that record is still pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. Like I get it. I get why people love that. This is one of those things. This is one of those things that is the year 2000. That is this decade. That is this scene. That is, pre 9/11 America. This is fucking insane stuff. This is perfect. This perfectly captures the moment in America when emo kind of like exploded. And it became okay to cry on stage, and it became okay to be Metro, right? Like it was okay to be all of these things because Chris Carrabba did it, and like everybody liked it.
Yeah.
Like fuck, like, I know you didn't love it in high school, but you knew these fucking songs, and you knew that they were still pretty good. Like, I don't like that song, but it's still catchy. I sing along to it. It's not bad.
Well, no, but.
Well, maybe not you because you try so fucking hard to be an outlier here.
Okay. Well, I can also call out bullshit when I see it or hear it.
What part of that was bullshit? This is harking a new era, a new generation.
I get it, but what came out of this band, or what bands were inspired by these songs? I mean, it's just most of it's garbage, man. It's bad.
Yeah,
it's like
that's fine.
You can kind of equate it to like a band like Korn. Like what they did was perfect in the early mid 90s, but then all the bands that came out after them generally were all fucking shit. And it's much like Dashboard. Like even up to this day, like the amount of bands and artists that were inspired by Dashboard, you could hear it in almost every sad boy song that's come out in the last 20 plus years. But it all derives from this Dashboard record. I
mean, that's sad boy season, right? We're kind of going back and back and back. And if anybody's listening and if they can choose or guess what we're going to do next week, it's just, like our favorite artists of 2020, like, oh yeah, I was inspired by Dashboard. Who inspired Dashboard? Like what sad boy season band inspired Dashboard? That's what we're doing next week. Yeah. But this is a different era. And like, dude, Clarity just came out. Like it wasn't like something that came out years and years prior.
A few years old.
Yeah. It was barely a year, and Dashboard had already been putting out
Clarity
music.
Came out in '99.
Yeah, it was barely a year. So like this is just a completely different fucking thing that took the world by storm, and it really because of the record label, it didn't sell as well as it should have. But like in the underground scene, right, in the touring like circuit, it did fucking really, really well. Like the dude was like going from playing, 200 chain reaction things to like House of Blues style, right? Where one spot holds 200, and then 6 months later he's like selling out like House of Blues that holds thousands. So people were this was resonating with people. People loved it. It was good. But it wasn't the punk rock kind of like post-hardcore sound that Clarity was trying to convey. This was something different entirely. This was a stripped down, broken, sad boy thing.
It was, man. There's no other way to describe it. There's no other way to describe
stupid. It. By all on paper, this is fucking dumb. This is pathetic. This is stupid. This should not even like be a point of like topic, right? This is stupid. But damn, it works.
But damn, it resonated with so many people, and it's not just. It didn't resonate with just guys. Like a lot of this band had a lot of female fans too, which is something in the rock scene. That doesn't happen very often. Where, it's. I honestly would say it's like half and half.
Yeah, this really was like half and half.
Yeah, it's crazy because you never ever see that. It's mostly male fans, but. Yeah, no, they really struck a chord with literally everybody. So,
I mean, that harkens back to like why I started playing guitar was because it was like I like the acoustic guitar, and so I play that more than anything still to this day because I like just writing things or playing things on the acoustic and then transposing them to electric. And then two was like, a lot of girls like these fucking songs. So if I play acoustic guitar, I can play dumb songs, and then girls will like me. That's why I play guitar. That's why That's why we started playing guitar. It's to impress girls. And Chris Kravitz did it, and he made it possible. And he made it possible for us to sing these stupid songs, which I secretly loved, but now is okay.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. So let's get into some of the lyrics. Let's get into the lyrics on the title song, the title track.
The place you've come to fear. The place that you've come to fear the most. Dude, when he later on too, when he fucking says. When he says, like, you can't fake it hard enough to please. And kind of like his voice gets all raspy there. Please. Then everyone or anyone. You can hear him like kind of like do that like gasping thing. Like he's just, dude, he's so committed. He's so committed. It is absolutely insane. He's so fucking committed. And it's just, it's on record forever. Man. I can never get enough of that. That enough to please everyone or anyone at all. Oh, dude, I love that.
Dude, when you do it, you are just so over the top whiny when you sing it. you sound nothing like Chris Carrappa, though. You don't even sound close to
Damn. Dude, I got goosebumps again right now. This is just, this song just does it for me. This song just absolutely does it for me.
In the end, almost every song is about heartbreak. And his like how aggressive he gets. I was surprised at how aggressive he gets in some of the lyrics. The way he talks about.
Oh yeah.
Like he kind of he wants to get revenge on the girl. Or not get revenge, but wants to. I don't like it's almost violent at points.
Yeah, there's a lot of like negative reactions to heartbreak here, right? Like, and that's a normal human emotion, right? You your girlfriend breaks up with you, and then you're like, yeah, fuck her. I hope she gets hit by a fucking car, right? That's a normal like response to a traumatic event. Where we don't see that a lot in writing. We don't see that a lot in music because that's stupid. That's such a niche thing, and it's such low hanging fruit that why would you ever write about that? But like that's where Chris came in, dude. Chris came in, fucking took that low hanging fruit and made like apple pie out of it. Fucking made amazing.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so ridiculous.
Love this song. Yeah, this song. We're going to get into it now.
The lyrics. Yeah, the lyrics. Real quick, what do you got?
I think like an overarching theme of like just being vulnerable is what this one is really about. The song's trying to like being fake, right? Being fake happy, but deep down you're miserable and falling apart. And the chorus here to me sounds like a person is realizing they can't keep up this charade much longer, but also refusing to confront like the inner feelings that is making you upset and making you sad. And that's why we get like the two different choruses, because the first chorus is very much in line of just he's singing, but it's not like the shriek singing that he does. The first chorus is just good singing, and then the second chorus is that shriek singing, right? Finally, I don't like fully realizing like I can't do
Yeah.
this. Like I can't keep
He
this shit
starts
up any
wailing and
longer.
shit.
It's just, oh, dude, it's so good.
Now, I feel like most of the lyrics on this record, it's from the perspective of him and him blaming the other person for breaking up with him. Now, this is one of the, I think the only song, if not maybe one of two songs, where it could be taken from either perspective. It could be taken from his perspective of getting dumped or from her perspective of being the dumper. And yeah, I feel like it's about them talking about the facade they put up, or he puts up to hide his true feelings. But then eventually, you know, that shit builds and builds and builds. And then that facade begins to break. And the true things, the places that he comes to fear the most, come out. And that's what this song is for me.
So good.
I don't know. It's good.
Dude,
My
such
3B.
like we'll go over in pretty much every track if you want to. I'll do this all fucking night. But I feel like every song has a couple lines that I think are just amazing. And here it's such a stellar monument to loneliness that is my favorite line from the song. There's so many like adjectives going on here, like a stellar monument, right? This massive thing to loneliness. Like that's so pathetic. That's so sad. That's so tragic. That's so it cuts you deep, dude. That's so good. And like the word stellar too. Like that's a very positive word, stellar, right? Stellar is usually using a positive kind of like notations, and stellar monument. And when you throw loneliness at the end, it just kind of like builds you up just to tear you down. Perfect makeup, but you're barely scraping by.
It's a good, that's good too. That's good.
Girl, come on.
He does have some good lines. He really does have some good lines.
Fuck and A.
Dramatic,
Cotton.
Definitely. F and A.
All right, let's. Damn, that was rough.
That was good.
That took a lot out of me. Let's get into the bitter pill. I know it's your 1B. Let's do it.
Yeah, that is my 1B. That is
Let's do it.
by far the best Dashboard song ever. Like, you can't even deny that,
It's
right?
a good fucking song, man. That's what a closer.
This is not your
Talk
number
about
one?
a closer. It's my 2B.
But this is, dude.
Places
Places
just has too much nostalgia. That was the first Dashboard song I learned on the guitar, also, and that was the first time I learned about open tunings. And like, there's just too much nostalgia for Places. But this bitter pill, like, I would say objectively, it's better. But Places it holds way too much weight for me, like personally. That I have to go number one. Has to be.
Okay, that's fair. The build in this song is he's good at building tension and then just exploding in the chorus, or even what's cool about him too, which I'm sure we'll get into with some of the songs, is that he changes it up. Like normally it's the verse building into the chorus, but then sometimes it's the opposite where right off the bat, you know, it's I don't want to say aggressive, but just more forward during the verses, and then it gets quiet during the chorus, and then it blows up again in the verse. But this one, from start to finish, it starts off quiet, with the quiet strumming, the vocals, and then it builds into the chorus, which is it's loud. You start to hear that wail, that scream, that by the end of this is fucking amazing. He brings it back down in the second verse, but he's not muting the chords or the notes as much as he was in the first one, and so you hear that aggression grow and build and build and build. And then that outro hits, and it's something else, man. This is when I first heard this song like 5-6 years ago. When I first heard this record, in its entirety, I was blown away, absolutely blown away by this song. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't. After this entire record, you get this bitter pill, and it's like, where were you the rest of this record? Where was this?
It's there.
Like if you had
it's there. It's there.
You made no, but
It's
not
there.
to this extent. Like had he
the
been
closer,
more
dude.
consistent. Had he been more like, add maybe like 4 more songs that were in the same vein as this, my God, and just have it go up and down, like the ebb and flow of it. Oh my God, dude, it could have been something truly special, this record, because this song is absolutely incredible. That ending is unreal.
That's the journey, dude. The journey. You can't have every song like this, otherwise it lessens the impact of this.
I'm not saying every song. That's what I was saying. Like the up and down, the ebb and flow of it. Like if they had thrown like, you know, one, like a song similar to this and then 2 normal songs off this record and then another song similar to this, like have it be up and down.
You literally have a bunch of songs that are like this.
No, there's nothing like this.
Places You've Come
There's
to
stuff
Fear the
similar,
Most is
but
like
nothing
this.
like it. No.
Yeah, Saints and Sailors is like this. The Best
doesn't hit
Deceptions
nearly
is
as
like
hard.
this. Screaming Infidelity is like this. The opening track is like this.
It doesn't hit nearly as hard, dude.
But that's the point. It's not. You can't hit as hard
Vocally,
as this.
musically, it doesn't.
The only reason why this hits as hard is because there are no other songs that are exactly like this. You have to end the record. You have to end a sad record with the saddest fucking thing possible. You have to.
Oh man. Okay. I mean, you're not wrong. You aren't wrong.
I'm never.
I think
wrong.
either way. I mean, this is a great way to end the record, but also I think my version is also very good.
Well, there's only one version, and it's this song's perfect.
Well, my
this
version would
record's
have been really
perfect,
good
and that's it. But yeah, this Bitter Pill, and again, talk about like just the way he plays guitar, and again, he has not perfected his craft here, but he's still really good at playing the acoustic guitar here. I don't think he perfected it until a couple years after this, but just like dynamic, right? How am I going to play the guitar here? And when he's doing that chorus, right? When he's like, this medicine is where you deserve, swallow, choke, and die. And he's doing the kind of strumming thing, that typical like down, down, up, up, down, up, down, that Green Day time of your life pattern. That's whatever.
Yeah.
But then when he gets to the chorus, it's just all fucking downstrokes. It's all downstrokes. It's all heavy. There's a lot of open notes going on. He's hitting right in the middle of that fucking body, and it's just super loud. It's super aggressive, and it's good. It's good because it's aggressive. That's why I'm saying it. I don't know.
Yeah, and going back to like him being a great songwriter, the lyrics match with the music perfectly on here. So like the first verse, it's quieter. The first verse, he's talking about how the breakup was caused by him, how he ran the relationship to the ground. And at this point, he becomes an alcoholic. He starts drinking to numb his feelings. And then by the time the chorus hits, when it gets louder and bigger, he's drunk. He's saying hurtful things. His anger is like only matched by his sadness. It's like you just hear how pissed off he is in the chorus. And then by the time verse 2 hits, the alcohol is kind of wearing out. He's sobering up a little bit. And he's even sadder than before. He's still kind of pissed because he's still a little bit drunk, but he just straight up, it's just despair. That's what it is. And then by the end of that second verse, he sees the bottle again. He sees the way out, the way to numb his feelings again. So it starts to get more aggressive. And then the outro hits, and then that I don't know. I just think it's incredible the way he intertwines both the lyrics and the music and the feeling. He's great at it. He's honestly really, really great at it. As silly as it is at times, he's fucking great at it.
He's great at like building worlds, right? Imagery.
Yeah.
And we get that heavy heart, heavy head thing, which are two like totally different things, but still conveying the same message. Heavy heart is something metaphorical, whereas a heavy head, like your head is full of like shit that weighs your head down. You're looking at the ground and sorrow. Those are two different things, kind of like going the same path. But in the same verse, he talks about like temptation of drowning his sorrows with the pill bottle and how it's sealed. And he's really like, I don't want to get in there, but like I might have to. And the overall concept of a bitter pill, right? A bitter pill could be something like literal, like this bitter pill, like I'm drowning my sorrows with pills. Now I'm like I'm self-medicating. Or it could be like, I'm pissed off at my ex because like, how's that bitterness taste, bitch?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's two different. I don't know why I got so aggressive there. Two different things there.
You did get pretty pissed
that
off.
is happening. So he's building worlds. He's building worlds like in each song, and he's building concepts and feelings and letting us know how he feels without quite letting us know how he feels. And Chris Carrabba, much like Ben Gibbard, these guys don't talk about their music often. They don't talk about their inspirations. They don't talk about what the songs mean. If anything, they just kind of say like, yeah, I wrote this on a day that I was feeling this, but that's about it. And I like that. I like when artists just don't, because it's very personal. It's a very personal thing, and it's art. Like art should not, it's not something you should be making money on and being rich on. It's just, it's art. Art is for the artist. If everyone else enjoys it, that's great. And so I like when artists don't fully divulge where their inspirations came from. It's personal. It's for me only. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, then I'm still going to make art. I'm still going to make music. Don't care.
I like it.
So good.
It is. It's
Dude, those are the two best songs, honestly, and we haven't even like touched like the surface of like even all the other best songs because there's 8 other best songs.
oh my god.
I'm just
Okay,
telling you.
so yeah, this bitter pill, man. Let's move on from this one.
Okay,
All right. What's your 2B?
that was my 2B.
Oh, that's right. It was.
Yeah.
It was. Okay, so then my 2B is Again I Go Unnoticed.
Can I go unnoticed?
So what do you got? What do you got with this one?
Exhale. So like this is kind of like the more, I would say this is the most like poppy song on the record.
Yeah.
Like the strumming pattern is it's very easy to get in line with or get in line with. It's very easy to jump in line with. It's easy to follow. But also like the way he sings. The way he sings is very, very happy. Like, so quiet, another wasted night. Like you can kind of just feel like it just feels good the way he's singing. I can't fully like describe why it feels good, but it just feels good the way he's singing because it sounds like he's happy. It sounds like he's excited.
Yeah.
Maybe because he's just saying like a lot of words really fast. That's why it sounds like he's excited. But it's still kind of sad. The strumming pattern's fairly basic. Again, he has not honed his craft here, but it's still really, really good. And this is my 4B.
It's your 4B. Okay. I mean, this is, I think, I don't really like the full band songs. I think they're the weakest songs on the record. This is the exception because, I mean, I think for 2 reasons. I think the drumming on here is really, it's fucking busy as hell. It's aggressive, but I don't like it because it's aggressive. I think the tone of the drums and why they're there is perfect in conjunction with the lyrics. It all makes perfect sense. It all goes hand in hand, and that's why I love this song. Otherwise, yeah, normally I don't like the full band songs really that much. And it's relentless. This song is relentless until you hit that bridge, or you might say the third verse. At that point, it quiets down a little bit. There's a nice build into that final and that final verse, which is just the first verse repeated. But that makes sense when you look at the lyrics of the song, which. Fuck, I might as well get into now because it all goes hand in hand.
Do it.
So this song to me, it's about how he's with his girlfriend or whoever it is, his girlfriend, and she's just tired of the relationship and he's noticed it, but he's too much of like a coward to say anything. Like he's too insecure to say something to her about it, to call her out on it. So he just kind of deals with it. He's in denial about it, and that's what you get with the first verse. So it's aggressive. He when you hear the aggressive parts, he's just pissed off. He's pissed off at himself and he's pissed off at her for not liking him or reciprocating the way he feels about her. So that's what that all is. And then once you get to the bridge, that bridge or the third verse, it quiets down a little bit because at that point the anger subsided, she's left, and now he's just like, he's reverted back to his like sad boy era, where he's just like, he's wallowing in his own self-pity, and it's more depressing during this time. But then by the time the last verse comes in, which is the first verse of the first verse, it gets aggressive again because the cycle's repeating itself. Because during the third verse, it talks about, well, maybe tomorrow will be different. Maybe after all this, maybe I was just thinking about it too much, but everything will be better tomorrow. But then it doesn't get better tomorrow, and it just becomes this cycle. He feels like shit. He's pissed off until she leaves, and then he wallows, and then it starts over and over again. So I love the cyclical pattern of this entire song, and it goes perfectly with the music. Once again,
girl,
great fucking songwriting.
You're fucking
great songwriting.
Damn, bro, you're just getting into it, aren't you?
I mean, so first, because I thought, okay, there's nothing musically here that I really care for, so I decided I'm just gonna focus on the lyrics, because that's really what he's all about, are the lyrics. So I focused like solely on the lyrics. I broke down, each verse and chorus, and I realized like it told a really cool story. So then when I went back and listened to the music while I was reading along with the lyrics, everything clicked. Everything. I don't think if I had done it that way, if I'd broken it down that way, I would have felt the same way. But I did the lyrics first before I broke down the music. But it all fucking made sense. It all fucking clicks.
I agree with everything you said. This is the song is about a relationship that has lost passion. The passion is now gone, and the reason it opens and closes with the same verse is because if he hears a guitar playing, in the first verse he's very aggressive in those chords, right? He's doing those fast picking like ding 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 ding
Yeah.
He's hitting those chords really, really fast. So by the time we get to the last verse, which is the same as the first verse, he's just ringing them out. And like you said, where he's like, this kind of tells a story from beginning to end where he's irritated, like things are happening, they're losing their passion here. But he thinks like, by the time you get to the bridge, things have calmed down. Maybe tomorrow will be better. And then the first verse happens, maybe it's tomorrow. And it's like, nah, man, it's the same shit. And that's like a defeatist. So like the first verse, he's angry. The first verse, he's like, he's coming out like swinging, or he's not even saying anything. He's just thinking these things. But by the time we get to the first verse, but the last verse, it's just like a defeatist attitude. Like, fuck, man, I'm stuck in this cycle, like you said, and nothing is going to change. But that's normal stuff, man. That's like even on a small scale, right? Like where shit pisses you off about your significant other, like you don't say anything, even though it like irritates you. You just probably let it go. And most of the time it's just like, because it doesn't make a fucking difference. Like who cares, right? It's a small droplet in this big pond. Like who gives a fuck? But like to him right now, those little small droplets, all those small things add up into like a big pond. And now he's very irritated. I also like how he's using a lot of these like personification techniques, right? The television steals a conversation. That's my favorite line of the song.
I like that line.
Dude,
a lot.
Television don't steal conversation. It's a fucking TV. It doesn't do anything, right? Like that's silly.
Yeah.
But like the way the television steals a conversation, like I love that concept. There's two people sitting, like I imagine two people sitting there on the couch next to each other watching the same TV. They both want to say something, but they don't because they can't or they're afraid to. And it's just like that kind of relationship just spirals out of control, especially when you're younger and like everything is blown out of proportion. Now that we're older, we would say something like every day of the fucking week and just create a fight out because it's hilarious.
Of course. Like this is just, it's so, I don't want to say immature, but so adolescent. That whole first verse. So quite another wasted night. The television steals the conversation. Exhale, another wasted breath. Again, it goes unnoticed.
Then exhale, right? Like
it's those lyrics are great.
Exhale is exhale. Like it's such a disrespectful thing to do in a fucking argument. Like that's so annoying. And then to even like go further to say what I just did to be annoying is a wasted breath. Like that's so fucking disrespectful. So even though he thinks he may be at like the losing end of all of these relationship woes, he's still being kind of a dick about everything.
He is.
Dude, you don't exhale in an argument. That's just fucking. It contributes nothing to the conversation.
But I mean that also goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning, where almost every song he's in the wrong. I mean, he's the one. He's the shit part of the relationship. He's the one for the end of the relationship. He's honestly the bad guy. But he doesn't really like. But there's also like no self-awareness. I think he like Chris Carrabba himself knows that he's the bad guy, but he's writing it from the perspective of in that moment specifically where you're not blaming yourself, you're only blaming the other person. So he's only writing the knee-jerk reaction to the emotions, but not the what am I trying to say? Not the not reminiscing. What is the right word what's the word I'm trying to say? I don't always think he's in the wrong here. I don't think he's in the right. I just think like most of the time he is though.
In relationships, there is no right or wrong for the most part. There are instances where like clearly, dude, you fucked up there. That's you're in the wrong there. But like with human emotions, and we're just such static creatures, and things happen, and like who knows. I don't think it's fair to say like you were 100% in the wrong there, because that's just the way you feel. And I think he's just not afraid. Even if he is in the wrong, and he's not afraid to like write a song based around the fact that maybe he is in the wrong, but that it's just how he feels. That's just the way I feel at the time. Here's a song that I wrote. You can agree with it or don't disagree with it, but here is who I am. Heart on my sleeve type of thing, in the most cliche of senses.
Oh boy!
It's also interesting to note too. I won't throw this out there, but dude's just like mid-20s. Like this came out like he's basically in his mid-20s here. He's not like 16.
He shouldn't be singing about this anymore.
Yeah,
he should not be singing anymore.
So it's like you're kind of getting into the territory of grown ass man at this point. So you need to.
You know what I find fascinating? Not fascinating, but I find, I guess interesting. I don't like throwing that word around a lot anymore since you called me out on it. But what I find interesting about Chris Carrabba is that he had a lot, or he still had at the time he had a lot of young women or girls who loved his music and his lyrics. But fortunately, nobody's ever come forth and accused him of doing anything bad. Like nobody's accused him of sexual assault, nothing like that,
He's
which
not
is
been
great. I mean,
canceled
that's
yet.
that's
I
amazing.
do say yet. I do say yet because this era of music was very much like let's breed girls to love me, right? Warped Tour like existed for that
brand
fucking
new
purpose.
Fucking Brand New is the prime example of that. Like girls loved, like generally teenage girls, angsty girls and guys loved Brand New, and Jesse Lacey clearly took advantage of that. And it's disgusting, but I think it's great that Chris Carrabba never did that. As far as we know, he never did any of that. And it's kind of, I don't want to say shocking because that sounds terrible, but it is kind of shocking.
It is kind of shocking. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. But yeah,
especially with this music.
Good on him. Yeah. And I so this kind of leads me into the reason why I brought this up was because obviously we're going to talk about the Unplugged performance in 2002.
Why do you
because
hate
that I don't hate it. I thought it was a really great performance. I really, really thought it was a great performance.
There's a butt coming in.
Obviously, what?
I feel like there's a butt coming up.
No, butts are for pooping.
Butts are for pooping.
Now, what I thought was super cool about the performance, and it clearly stands out, is how Chris Carrabba's not the only one singing. The entire audience is singing along with him, and it's loud. Yeah. And I thought, dude, that's some boy band shit right there. You don't see that with any other artist at that point, or even up until now, unless they're like a pop icon, like a Harry Styles or some shit like that, or Taylor Swift. You don't see that. But Chris Carrabba, this emotional man with an acoustic guitar, and you have this like devout following that are just screaming the words back at him. It's crazy. Like it's wild to me.
Yeah,
absolutely wild.
The
whole record is like that.
This is music that resonates with just all walks of life. It's not just like emo music. The dude talking about breakups in a way that just makes sense. And we're again harkening back to like who's the winner or the loser for breakup. Like we all go through breakups and we all think we're the winner or we all think we're the loser. But like no matter what, like human emotions are volatile, and we're all losers essentially because it hurts and it's terrible. Yeah. And Chris Carrabba is kind of like the underdog in that aspect. Like, hey, like I know we've all been through it. Let's just go through it together. And it's that kind of, I don't know, that kind of camaraderie, I guess, is why it resonates with just so many different walks of life. Mostly white people, because that just seems to be like the emo thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But like girls and guys, like it really is like 50-50. No other fucking band is like 50-50 like that.
Yeah, with Dashboard, I would totally agree. It is. I think it's really straight down the middle. There's no other band like that. No other band that I could think of.
Like when I saw them at the Glass House, it was legit like 50-50. Like there was a lot of fucking girls there. And I was like, God damn. But I still sang really loud. I didn't care. That was good.
Oh, man.
It was good. I liked it. Exhale. Another wasted breath. Again, it goes unnoticed. It's just like a whiny thing to say too. Like again, it goes unnoticed. Like after he just right? Again, it goes unnoticed. Like again, you fucking ignore me. It's like, dude, this is just a relationship that is just doomed. And you're both assholes.
Yeah, it really is. It's doomed from the beginning. Neither of them want to cut it off. They're both like they're both comfortable in their relationship. So I mean, yeah, in the end, both of them are to blame. It's just we're seeing only his perspective and how pissed off and angry he is about it. But then he's too insecure to cut it off, and it's a cycle, man. It's a cycle on this song.
So good.
But no, it actually is a very good song. So we have anything else on this one? Again, I go unnoticed.
No, we can move on.
All right. So your 3B was what was it?
My 3B is Screaming Infidelities.
Oh God, let's talk about this one. It's not a B for me.
That's stupid.
I've never liked this song.
Just strange.
I've never ever liked this song.
This is where Punker Tyler comes in, where I try really hard not to like songs that are objectively good. Jeez Louise.
I don't like the full band. I think those songs are weak. Does he do this song by himself ever?
Yeah,
he has to
constantly.
Okay, well I didn't look it up, but based off of this version of the song, I don't like it. I never have. I mean, like I said at the beginning, this is the first song I ever heard from them. this version, and I hate it. I mean, I don't hate it.
I hate it.
I just don't like it.
You can't.
Hate
you
is
can't
a strong
hate
word.
This. Hate.
Because it's
because
this is not a stinker. It's not a stinker. But I mean, I don't.
He does a straight acoustic
whatever.
version on their first record.
He does, yeah, that's right. He does.
So it's yeah. I particularly don't also. I also don't really like the full band thing. I think he just doesn't need to, right? Like Blink doesn't need Jerry Finn to come and fuck them all up. Let the boys play. Chris Kravitz can hold the attention of a crowd. Let him play. The dude does it by himself. He can legit hold thousands of people's attention just with him and an acoustic guitar. Let him play. But I love the song. But 3B. Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into it. Let's break it down some more. What do you got?
So Chris, like he once said that this song was about a girl. What he said was, this song is about a girl that I don't like. And that's really what he kind of just says this is about. So nobody really knows what it's about, but it's just another one of those songs. And I love this chorus. I love how he uses like making out both as a figurative thing and as a literal thing. I like that he embraces the sadness here. Much like a lot of his music, he doesn't particularly like the sadness, but he's not afraid to like confront it head on. So like he's not a sad guy inherently because he's actually really positive constantly in interviews and outside of music, but he's not afraid to use sadness to its fullest capabilities in his music. But the big conversation is, what does your hair and the screaming infidelities even mean, right? Because your hair, I think it's just him being reminded of her when he's like sleeps because his hair's in the bed and like on the walls and shit like that. And like the screaming infidelities, I think it's him screaming at her for leaving. So I'm screaming at you, infidelities, but it should have been like I'm screaming, profanities, but like infidelities just sounds better. So I think this whole song was about him screaming infidelities because he's so sad, so mad, so upset. That's what's going on here. Damn.
Yeah.
I don't like this chorus, dude. But the as for now, I'm gonna hear the saddest songs and sit alone and wonder.
I don't like the ballad. I think what it comes down to is I don't like how ballad like it is. I mean, the first verse is cool because I don't like you always say this bullshit thing that I like ballads, which is
you
completely
like
untrue.
ballads. Alkaline Trio turned you around. You like ballads.
No. Yeah. So the first verse, it's just Chris and his guitar, but then once the chorus hits, it's the full band. But it's not like it's just very ballad, just a lot of big open notes and just it's not even loud. It's just kind of like this half-ass. It's just a half-ass ballad, and it doesn't. I don't feel like it really goes anywhere. I don't care. Like the lyrics, whatever. They're what you expect from Chris, and just sad boy and getting dumped, of course. Drunk, laying in bed, missing her, reading love notes that she wrote him. Or that he
What'd they
wrote
say?
her. I don't remember.
What'd they say though?
I don't remember.
They said, "I will love you
lyrics.
always and forever."
Oh yeah. Except when you signed it, I will love you always and forever. Wow, that is.
But the second verse, like,
see, that's another thing too. I hate the way he sings that too.
Why? He's getting more and more sad, dude. He's getting more aggressive. He's just so sad.
It's too goofy. The it's.
He doesn't like bitter pill. He's screaming in this bitter pill. You love that shit.
No, but no, it's not the screaming. It's just that melody, that part, that kind of da 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 da. It's too dramatic. It's too much.
You just hate the song because you hate the song because it's popular. That's why
it's just not that good of a song. It really is not that good of a song.
You have not said one thing as to why this is not that good of a song.
I told you why. I told you it's a bad ballad.
These are all ballads.
It's not even a good ballad.
He's belting out all of these songs as ballads.
Okay. But really, this is like the most straightforward, typical kind of ballad. And it just doesn't sound good. I don't think it's that good of a song. It really isn't.
I think your
not
arguments
a stinker.
are wrong.
Okay.
They are not correct. They are wrong.
Honestly, though, are you surprised at how much I have how many positive things I have said about this record?
No, because this record's fucking amazing.
You can't even give me any credit. Can't give me any credit.
That's silly.
Because I'm giving myself credit. I'm giving myself credit. I thought I would absolutely despise this record.
No, I
There's
am.
a lot
I
of
am.
cool shit
I am
here.
happy that you're branching out of your little metal phase and
Oh my
and
God.
liking things that are outside of your normal realm. I will give you credit for that, but like no,
Oh my
I don't. I
God.
don't give you any credit for liking this record. It's fucking great. And the guy's a great guitar player, and he's a great singer, and he's a great songwriter. Like, why would you not fucking
I
like this
agree.
record?
He is. Great sing. Yeah, you're right. He is.
Mm-hmm. I know he is. That's why I said it.
Oh God. And just when he says you're making out, it's just
How
God,
you're
it's so
making now?
it's so dramatic. It's like it's something from the OC, you know, after watching all the drama from that TV show. This song perfectly like exemplifies that show. Like to a fucking T. It's like they wrote the whole show around this song. What?
It is pretty dramatic how he says making out. Like, he makes it a point to like you know what he's saying. It's clear. He enunciates properly the making out thing. But like, it's a fun like phrase, making out. People like saying it. Making out began the club on the weekend. I just stupid getting drunk with my best friends. See, like
Now
making
that's
out.
a song, dude. All right. Do we have anything else on Screaming Infidelities?
Nah, that's all right. That's fine.
All right. What else you got?
That song sucks.
It does. Yeah, I know.
We've already done all my 4Bs.
I can't believe that was your 4B. That's insane.
No, that was my 3B.
Ah, that's even worse.
Again, I go and notice. That's my 4B.
Oh, it's your 4B. Okay. So yeah, then let's go with my 4B then. The Best Deceptions.
Oh, nice.
What does that one sit for you?
That's my 9B.
All right. Let's. So yeah, this is an acoustic song. Just Chris and his guitar. I like how the chorus hits pretty hard. The vocal layering is nice, which he doesn't there isn't a lot of, unless it's a full band. There's not a lot of that. And just he hits those chords really, really fucking hard, and just you could hear the passion. I really, really do like the passion. And he lets loose at the end too, when he kind of wails the keeping you away, or the end of the chorus where he wails keeping you away.
Keeping you away. So good.
It's so fucking good. But the outro is really good too, where he gets kind of wild with his strumming. It gets a little bit faster, but he gets a little crazy, and then the vocals are very much Taking Back Sunday, straight up Taking Back Sunday, which is cool.
Yeah,
but he does it better than Adam Lazzara. I will say he does do it better than Adam Lazzara.
In this sense.
Yeah.
This genre, this type of music.
It's good. It is good. So,
interesting. Okay.
What do you got on the Best Deceptions?
This is my 9B, mostly because there's nothing here.
That's so low.
It's low because there's not. I mean, like nostalgia. I went into this with strictly just my nostalgia goggles on. Okay. So there's nothing here that I quote too often except for the intro. I like to do. I heard about. I like to do those things because it's so it's so whiny, and I like that part. I like this guitar playing here. But like lyrically, this is one of my least favorite, I guess, overall about lyrics, and it never really resonated with me that well. Right, he gets cheated on, breaks it off here, but the big recurring theme here is how the girl doesn't like communicate with him. The fact that he hears all this other like information from third parties, third people, and it just shows how like broken the relationship was to begin with, third people. And so like the best deceptions didn't come from her; it came from the relationship in general. Like the best deception was the fact that they even thought they could be in a relationship together in general. I think that's cool. That's a little meta. I like that.
It is. Now the concept, it's just so tired. It's so typical and boring. Like every TV show, every dramatic TV show you watch has this storyline at some point. Every reality show you'll ever fucking watch, every episode is about this. The deception of being cheated on and hearing about being cheated on by somebody else. It's boring. It's tired. I don't care.
But that's not.
And
that's
entertainment
not the message
sucks.
here, though.
TV sucks.
The message isn't like he got cheated on and he was deceived. The message here is the relationship itself was the deception. They were lying to each other to begin with, and I don't agree with that. It's like a tired cliche because in TV shows, in movies, and music, we do get this, but we don't get full on this. We get half-assed this. We get a storyline in like Fresh Prince that's 30 minutes, but then like the last like 5 minutes addresses like the cheating aspect of this. Like, no, this is a song that is fully embracing it, that is fully diving into it, that is developing, that is creating, that is all about one thing. We don't get this. Name one other band that fully embraces the entirety of like being cheated on in a song that is not just like one little part of it, but is the full part of the song. Both like
You're
vocally,
right.
both musically, both conceptually. Like nobody does it like this. People do it half-assed, but nobody does it full on.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
And that's
I
why
think
that's
at
why
this,
we hate cliches so much, is because nobody fucking just does. Like if you're gonna like dive into the cliche of being cheated on, fucking do it. Make the entire episode about being like cheated on, right? Not just like 10 minutes of it. Do it. And Chris Kravitz did it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh man, that's something, dude.
It's too good.
All right, so let's get into another one. What's another banger for you?
These are all bangers.
Because I have one banger left.
I just
have
want
one
to
banger
hear.
left.
Yeah, let's do your last banger. What is it? Oh god.
Standard lines.
Okay. God, this one's
Okay.
so fucking good.
You
This one's
say
got
that
like
about
this
every
one's,
one of these
this one's got
songs.
one of my favorite lyrics on the entire fucking record. It's so good. Like
Okay, what do
your
you
taste
got?
still lingers on my lips. Oh my
that's
god.
good.
Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
It kind of reminds me of the line from Angels and Airwaves, "The alcohol is scented with your breath,"
Mhm.
except the Angels one is way better.
Or like the plus 44. I can always find her at the bottom of a plastic cup. We all do that kind of thing.
That is a good
It's
one.
good.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Damn, dude. And standard lines.
But Angels is the best. The Angels one is the best.
Alcohol scent with your breath. That's good. That's a good one.
I fucking love it. That's one of my favorite lyrics of all time. Oh, it's so good. Anyway,
Damn.
standard
the
lines.
The choruses are so good, and it's crude, but it will do. And it's just, But yeah. Anyway, here we go. I sing these in my head, and then I get like overly excited
Yeah.
about them. But here I like his usage of mouth. Like he uses a lot of like allegoric. I don't know what the fuck it is. He uses the
I know
mouth
what
thing
you're
a
saying.
lot. Mouth, eating, all that stuff in the chorus, right? The lips, the liquid diet, the starvation. It all leads to this kind of like cool, like overarching theme of like mouth and ingesting things. You taking things into the mouth, and that's how you're getting it into your body. And I like that. I don't know what it means, but I think it's fucking cool. I think it's cool he's keeping it kayfabe within the one song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So that chorus, man. Let's talk about the lyrics real quick. Like you said, but your taste still lingers on my lips. Like I place them upon yours, and I starve for you. But this new diet's liquid and dulling to the senses, and it's crude, but it will do. Dude, can you get any more sad boy
And it's
and emo than
crude,
that? Oh
But
my
it will
god,
do. So
I love
good.
it though.
And
I
this new diet's liquid. Dude, I'm telling you, man, embrace it full
Oh,
on.
man.
If you're gonna do
Also
it,
that-
do it.
So the lyrics are about, the relationship ending. She's essentially moved on. He's upset about it. He's sad about it because, he's not getting back to her. He's not paying attention to him. And then, he talks about how much he misses her and how he's started to drink to numb his feelings. And then by the end of the song, or the second verse at least, he's like on this like drunken tirade, and he's yelling at her about like what excuse is she going to use next. So I like how the song builds. Like he's sad boy, he starts drinking, he starts reminiscing and missing her more, and then by the second verse he's just pissed off. So the second verse is, so which of the standard lines will we use? I've been meaning to call you. I've just been so busy. We'll catch up soon. Let's make it a point to. I mean, as like on the nose as that is, it's perfect.
And like the rhyming
when
scheme
you're-
too, the way he rhymes those is unreal.
Like we've all kind of been in that drunken state before, where we just like kind of just. I feel like we've all been there before. Let's just say that.
Yeah, who hasn't?
Oh man, it's just so basic, man. It's just so remarkable how basic Chris Carrabba is, but it comes off cheesy, but it still fucking works. He still makes it work somehow. I don't get it.
The most like the most relatable and successful emotions you can convey in music are the ones that are the most basic, right? Like anger,
Yeah.
sadness, and like heartbreak, dude. Like everyone's gone through heartbreak, and he has some songs on here about heartbreak. That we haven't, like his best heartbreak song we haven't even talked about. But this is in standard lines, like the standard lines, right? Like you see your ex later on, like, oh, I've been meaning to call you, or like, oh, I've just been so busy, I'm sorry. Oh, we should catch up soon. Oh, let's make it a point to talk more. It's all bullshit fucking lines. They mean nothing. They're fucking just, if you don't want to fucking talk to me, I don't want to fucking talk to you. Don't say these bullshit lines. And so like the first the first line of that second verse, so which of these standard lines will we use? So which of these standard lines will we use? And then he says all these things, and it's just, and even like he's playing guitar, then like it's a little bit softer, and he's kind of like, he's kind of like sad. But he's like tiptoeing around, like he still wants to talk to this girl, but he kind of is also like careful. Like I know you're just stringing me along. I know you're just fucking with me, but there's still a chance, and I'm still gonna take it. But when we get to the chorus, he gets a little more mad. But your taste still lingers on my lips. Oh, so good.
He's great with he's so good with like when he's playing the guitar parts. He's just so good with the nuance, you know, and the nuance, the ups and the downs, and dude, he's so good. I love how he does it so much too, where like he'll just be strumming away, but then he'll go into like just playing like single notes, alternate picking, and then just go right back into a chord. Like it's fucking nothing. Like it's just the way it intertwines with his vocals is just incredible. And this song is one of those instances. Like the intro where he's just kind of like playing those single notes, just picking those single notes, and his guitar tone too. I mean, we touched upon his guitar tone before, but on this song specifically, it's beautiful. It sounds so good.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a big acoustic guy, but he has one of the great acoustic guitar tones. He really does, hands down. And like you mentioned, he put so much time into perfecting that tone too. And it shows. It absolutely fucking shows on this record. It's great.
That's what he likes to do.
It's great. He does like to do it. That's true. All right. What else we got? We're 5 songs deep. We're halfway through.
We can just talk about this brilliant dance, and then we can just be done with it.
Really? You want to?
I mean, like there's Rune Puzzle, the Saints, and then Good Fight. Those are all bangers, of course. But it's just kind of more of the same. I get it, but the brilliant dance, like that's one of the, for me, that's one of the better crafted lyrical songs on the record. Or we can talk about all songs. I don't give a fuck. We'll do every single one.
No, I know we could. I'm just kind of reading through my notes, just kind of like remembering.
And then we'll throw down Swiss Army Romance after, and then we can talk about the EPs. Like I don't even care. Then we can talk about Further Scenes Forever, because that first record's fucking amazing. And then we can talk. We do whatever you want.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I do want to talk about his other band.
Did you like that record, that first one?
We'll talk about it in a bit. Let's get through this song, the Brilliant Dance.
Okay.
So I'm kind of reading up on my notes because I don't know these songs as well as you do. So I'm just kind of trying to remember what.
Do you want me to sing it for you?
I was thinking. What?
You want me to sing it for you?
Yeah, sing it, please.
I'm not gonna do that. I only sing it when you say a line, and then I get excited and then sing it.
If Mike was here, he would start singing immediately. The drop of a hat.
Nobody leads at all. That was the chorus.
That was good.
This one's cool because it starts off with the chorus. Like it starts off with that.
It does, yeah.
So you buried all your love. Now that I sing these out loud, they all sound the same, huh? Like whenever I sing these,
they do. Whenever you sing them, yes.
All the fucking melodies sound exactly the same.
I mentioned that earlier that you don't sound anything like Chris Carrabba when you try to sing these.
Oh,
now with this song too, I feel like the hooks or the choruses can be interchangeable with the verse, because honestly, the verses are catchier than the actual hooks themselves.
Yeah, correct.
Which is cool too. Like I do like how Chris does that in some of these songs where he changes it up. He does things a little bit more that are a little unconventional in a pop sensibility, and to have the first song be that way where he does switch it up, where the verses are inherently catchier than the actual chorus and hook. I think that's really cool. It's really, really cool. And also the first song is an acoustic song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just to start it off like that. Normally you'd have some big heavy hitter, the band coming in fast and just a lot of energy, but no, not at all. Not at all.
It is an aggressive acoustic song because that there's an opening chord there. And again, if he's using that open D tuning, he's hitting some notes up and down the fretboard there where he's got some like minor things going on. So it's kind of a weird opening chord that's being hit. And then we get into like the hook, and then we get into the verse, which kind of like hones it into a more major key to where it's easier to get along with, it's easier to digest. But overall, the song's complex. The song's pretty complex.
It's a cool song, and this song lyrically, you see his how he thinks kind of violently too. He talks about punching a wall where they had their first kiss. It's like, damn, dude, you're starting the whole album out like this. Wow. Okay. All right. So I see where you're going.
Plastic,
even though he never gets
from your fist in the hole where you had your first kiss. So good. Again, we're talking about like imagery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like talking about like I don't know. I don't fucking know. There's a whole thing here of conveying emptiness. And I think there's a lot of emptiness here, not just in the lyrics, but the way he plays the guitar. A lot of those, again, that open tuning, right? When you're just hitting those open notes, there's a lot of emptiness in those notes because it's kind of like cheating to play an open tuning thing because you're already hitting a chord there. And so there's a lot of empty, shallow notes going here. But he's trying to convey that lyrically, and the idea of having to like constantly run into each other here is also introduced early on in the Brilliant Dance. And then talking about like the attempt to he's washing himself of the memories by burning pictures or throwing away items, but that doesn't help. And then the symbolism, the same spot in the house where it's now used as a negative that used to be a positive, right? That's where the place where they first kissed, that's a positive, but now it's a negative thing. Every time he walks by that spot in the house, that's why there's a fist mark in the wall now. And that's a real emotion though. That's petty for sure. Absolutely 100% petty. But that's a real emotion. We are petty. Humans are fucking petty. Wars are started because people are fucking petty. We are fucking petty.
Yeah.
But there's also like more like devastation overall about like the breakup, right? The clock being broken. Get you later on in the second verse. The clock is broken because it's flashing the 8s. And it's just like this shows us that he's just like how meaningless time is to him right now. Like he doesn't give a fuck about anything. That like time does not mean a goddamn thing. He could be laying in bed, crying, wallowing, being sad for an hour, a day, a week, a year. Who knows? Time is completely meaningless at this point.
It is.
And I love the outro.
The way he describes that in the second verse though is, before you get into the outro, I just want to run through the lyrics in that second verse. So this is what he says. And the picture frames are facing down, and the ringing from this empty sound is deafening and keeping you from sleep, and breathing is a foreign task, and thinking's just too much to ask, and you're measuring your minutes by a clock that's blinking 8s.
Breathing is a foreign task, and thinking's just too much to ask. It's very
like every line childish. There, man, it's so dramatic though. It's so dramatic.
Damn, but that's real, dude. If you're gonna do it, fucking, you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna dive into a pool, right? Like don't fucking put your little toes in the shallow end. Like ooh, it's too cold, and like slowly just fucking dive in, bro. Just get in there. And like Chris Kravitz doesn't just do that. He like jumps off the roof into the pool. So you have the people that like will put their toes like the episodes you talked about earlier with like TV shows do the cliche thing. Yeah, that's when then they're like wading in the water. They're in the shallow end, maybe like waist deep. And like maybe more aggressive like bands will do it, and they'll jump off the diving board into the deep end of full embracing that sound, full embracing the concepts of breakup. Dude, Chris Kravitz is like literally jumping off the roof into that fucking deep end. He is so far beyond like fully invested that like nobody like no one's recreated this type of sound before. How could you?
Nobody's done it to this extent. Nobody's done it to this extent and done it well.
How could
because
you?
Once again so one of the big differences between Chris Carrabba and other people who sing about these kind of topics is that they're not connected with their instrument. They're only conveying it through lyrics and their shitty vocals. Like Carrabba, he is a good singer and he is a great guitar player. So like it's the combination of both of those things. So you get you're getting this emotion from different views in a way, from the guitar, from the vocals, from the lyrics. You're just getting hit from every which way. But when you get somebody who's only conveying these emotions with the lyrics, and even the lyrics aren't that great, like it's just one-sided. Like Caraba, he has what am I trying to say?
It's the whole. It's everything. It's not
it's
just
everything.
It's not just like building a car, right? Like where you need, like, the steering wheel is just as important as the engine, because the car will not work with one or the other. Like you need both. Even though the engine is like seemingly objectively more important than the steering wheel, you need the steering wheel to drive. Like for this stuff to work, you need the singer to be in tune with the guitar, the voice, and the lyrics. It has to have all three. Otherwise, it's cheesy. It's cliche. Like I don't think Dashboard's music is cliche. I really don't, because nobody does it like he does, like he did.
Yeah, nobody does it as well as he does. Yeah.
Like when you watch episodes where they do, address this kind of stuff, that's cliche. It's a dime a dozen. Who gives a fuck? Exchange any TV show with a movie, with a song. Who cares? Nobody does it the way he does it.
All right. So do we have anything else on this song, on the Brilliant Dance? Or what are we talking about?
Yeah, no, the Brilliant Dance. That's okay.
Wait, what the fuck song are we talking?
The Brilliant Dance, the opener.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we are. Yeah, the opener. Oh God, I'm so all over the place right now.
Breathing is a foreign task, and thinking it's just too much to ask.
That's it, dude. So what other songs you want to talk about?
No, that's it. We're good here. I thought that was a really good one. I enjoyed that one. We can get into.
There's only 3 songs we haven't got into.
But like, I would rather hear your opinions on Further Seems Forever, and then any extracurriculars, and then we can call it.
Yeah, Further Seems Forever. This band, I didn't care at all. I just
that first record.
I didn't like it.
Didn't do it for you.
No, none of it. I just didn't care. I don't think his voice translates very well with a full band. I think he honestly just does best when it's him and an acoustic guitar. I didn't care at all. I didn't think the music was that spectacular. It's just very kind of like mid-tempo. I don't want to say indie rock. It's more post rock, post hardcore in a way. But there's no craziness. There's no aggression to it. It's just kind of, it's milquetoast.
Yeah,
of that genre. I don't care.
It's just basic like emo indie rock.
Yeah, it's just not my thing at all.
They are kind
Once
of like,
again, yeah, I don't
they are
like
kind of like a Christian band, and there's a lot of like Christian undertones, and everybody in there is pretty Christian, so they're kind of like a Christian band. But that first record, I love it. It is pretty good. I like it.
Have you always been into that record, even back in the day, or was it something more of a recent thing?
I'm nowhere near like into it as I am Dashboard, but I do like it. Like if it came to the store on vinyls, I would take it home. I'd probably purge it at some point after I got high on it for a little bit. But I do really, really like it.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Because like
as we were talking about vinyl addiction earlier, that's funny.
I mean, really, it's what do you like, get high in the supply, right, type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm going to get high in the supply.
All right, very good, very good.
There was one other thing too. I don't remember what it was.
I mean, we talked about the real 2 extracurriculars that you wanted me to listen to were the Unplugged and Further Seems Forever, which I did listen to both. And like I mentioned with the Unplugged, I thought they did a great job. Honestly, they did a great job. Even the full band stuff too. Everybody was in sync. Everybody was sounding really good together. But the thing that was just the most standout about the whole performance was the fact that the audience sang every single lyric to every song. That was remarkable. It just blew me away. It was so cool. I really thought I just thought that was so fucking cool. Also, I think did they film that where the same spot where they filmed TRL? It looked like it.
It did look like it, yes.
Because I watched a couple of videos and yeah, it looked like that same room where they used to film TRL.
Dude, like how about those sideburns out? Like back in the day, like Chris Grabba's sideburns. Like, come on.
That was a style, dude.
Dude,
People love the sideburns.
Those were sideburns.
Would you ever bring the sideburns back?
Like me personally, I don't think I ever had those aggressive sideburns.
No, but you could at least grow. Like you can grow the sideburns.
Yeah. John had nice sideburns.
He did have for a long time too.
Yeah.
He had sideburns.
No, I don't know. I'm at the point now where I just like the hair grows and then I just shave it, and the hair grows and then I just shave it, and at some point I realize that when I shave it, it's just not going to grow anymore, and at that point it's just going to be like Mr. Clean style, and that's where I'll be at in my life.
Oh, you're talking about the like the top of your head,
like the whole thing. Like my hair's pretty long now, and I just at some point I'm just going to shave the whole thing off, and then if it never goes back, it never goes back. I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
Yeah, getting old, man, kind of sucks. Kind of. I mean,
like I don't
sometimes.
know. We put so much like emphasis on the hair, and like I don't give a fuck, dude. There's so many other things in my life that I care so much more about than the way my hair looks now. Put a hat on. That's why hats are invented. Put a fucking hat on.
But also, I mean, for the most part, except for when we were in high school, like fresh out of high school, you've always had really short hair. Like you had your little afro for a while, like in high school especially. But like after high school, you always had your head shaved. It's never a thing.
That's true. I mean, it's because like my hair's always been curly, and I can't do anything with it. Like if I spike it, it just looks like Chris, like in front of the pod, Chris, like his hair like spikes, but like he has curly hair, and so it's not really spiky. It's just the curls. It looks like a perm.
Dude, his hair was so poofy when we were in Europe.
Like at my peak in high school, like my hair was so long that I could pull my bangs down like well past my chin. Like it was so fucking long.
Yeah, your hair was
so
long,
curly.
Man.
I never brushed it, so it turned into like dreads.
Yeah, you had your fro, man. A little fro. It wasn't like a crazy fro, but it was there for sure.
I still have like curly hair, and I can't do anything with it, so it looks messy. It looks like a homeless person all the time.
All right. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Let's give our final thoughts on this record, the places you've come to fear the most, and rate the record based off of our world famous 3-point rating system, where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to, 1 is a bad album to give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. So what do you got? Go.
It is pretty wild to think like truly like the foundational inspirations that you have in your life. Like where did they come from? Like where did they stem from? Like who are they? And then how are you at where you're at now in life because of those people? And like for me, it really is like Chris Grabba. Like I don't know what would have happened throughout my life had it not been for like me listening to Dashboard, listening to Chris Grabba, listening to play the guitar. Like he is the reason I started playing guitar. He is the reason like my musical adventure became just so. They're here now. You own a record store. And we have a podcast. Like that's, like I don't know if it would have happened if it wasn't for Chris Grabba. So I don't know. Like this is a whole meta thing. I think it's very bizarre. It's just such a weird influence. I think I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's a very bizarre influence.
It's not a weird influence though. I mean, think about it. When you were a teen, you were relating to a lot of the lyrics. You loved his guitar playing. It makes perfect fucking sense.
But like, my mom, like growing up, she was younger, so she played like a lot of Offspring, a lot of Green Day. Like I listened to like No Doubt. I listened to all of these things, and it was all great. I loved it. But when I heard him, I was like, dude, I want to do that. Like that's what I want. The Van Halen. She loved Van Halen, and so like I knew Eruption like the back of my hand before anything else. But like it was.
Yeah, but this is like a band that. But this is a band that you discovered without your parents, without your mom.
Bizarre, just bizarre. Also, I never knew until this week too that he was kind of like a, how do you say it? like the whole Drive Thru Records fiasco thing when he left For the Things Forever.
Oh,
and the Drive Thru Records tried to like derail his release of his solo record because they were fighting with him essentially. That like the label, they hated him and they said, oh, we're just gonna shelve your fucking record. Then like fuck you, like a lot of bitterness. I never knew that until this week. I thought that was kind of petty and bullshit.
It was stupid record labels.
Even like Drive Thru,
really is.
Like Drive Thru at the time, man, they were so artist forward. Like we are an artist. We are an artist label. We pay the artist well. We are going to put everything out possible and then do whatever we can to make them succeed. But then Chris Grabba like leaves one for another, and they try and derail his entire career, and that's pretty shitty.
Yeah, very very shitty.
But yeah, so. Going full circle here, like honestly, like everything in my musical career kind of stems from Chris Grabba, and I still think that is bizarre, but not really that bizarre because if you know me in real life, I still sing these songs and I still love this so much, and I'm a pretty emo guy, right? We're full blood into emo season here, and I'm fully invested. And we just did Death Cab, and you know how that went. God damn, that was a good record. So
well,
definitely,
I will
definitely.
say that. What? Sorry.
Okay.
No, continue. I'll save this for my record wrap up.
I say like definitely like my bread and butter. When people ask me the records, they're like, "Oh, what do you listen to?" I say like my bread and butter usually comes from like the hip hop to like pop punk emo realm. Like that's what I fall back onto most. I like a lot of genres. I like a lot of things, but like the two things I can never get enough of, the two things I will never shy away from, is like hip hop, pop punk, emo, and it shows. So to say like this is a perfect record is obviously. I think this is a perfect record. I really do. I don't think anyone has ever done this singer-songwriter thing in this era the way Chris Kravitz did. I don't think anyone's done it since, to be honest. And like I said earlier, like the Joni Mitchell Blue record, like old guys love that shit. Dad rock people love it. I get it. I get why people like it. I don't like Joni Mitchell. I can tolerate that record because it's really, really good. But this is like our generation of Joni Mitchell's Blue. Like that's what it is.
That's a statement, dude.
It really is, and people just don't give this enough credit because of kind of what you talked about, because of the cliche, like breakup, romance, heartache thing, but like people just don't realize that it's cliche because it's never done correctly, because it's always just glossed over and it's never fully developed, it's never fully kind of embraced and talked about the way it's talked about here. This entire record is like this. It's only 30 minutes too. It's not even that long.
It's a very short record.
So this is not just like a perfect record for me. This really truly is like a foundational record for me. This is one of the ones that like I truly don't think I would be where I am today musically had it not been for this record. So I don't think it's just a perfect record. I think it's beyond that. There are certain foundational records, and this is one of them.
Okay. All right.
This is one of them.
This and Pinkerton, you know.
For sure.
Those are the two.
For sure.
All right. Yeah, you give this a perfect 3 out of 3. That's fine. I get it. I'm not going to knock you for it, even though I think you're wrong. So yeah, my final thoughts. Like I said, I never cared for Dashboard. I really didn't like Dashboard. It wasn't until several years ago where I heard this record in its entirety. I heard this Bitter Pill, and it changed a lot. It's not to say this is my favorite record by any means. I don't have the nostalgia. It didn't inspire me the way it inspired you. I come like you said, you're more of a hip hop, pop punk, emo guy. I'm much more in the more aggressive realm. I prefer punk and metal and hardcore and that kind of stuff. But like you too, we both like a wide range of genres, but we both have our things that we really prefer. So I don't have that nostalgia. I don't have that connection with this record, but it is good. And I absolutely respect Chris Kravitz. I think what he did on this record was very, I don't want to say unique, but he just did it. He did this style perfectly and better than anybody really has done. Until maybe after next week, we might have a different opinion. I don't know. As we wrap up Sad Boy season, that my opinion might change on Chris Kravitz. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is a really incredible record. And I would never get it on vinyl. I really do appreciate it, but I'm never going to really go back to it outside of maybe a couple songs. So with that being said, I'll give this a 2 out of 3. I really do. I'll give this a solid 2 out of 3 because I have no problem listening to it. I do enjoy myself listening to it. I laugh about it because it's just sometimes it's so over the top, but that's okay because I'm not 14 years old anymore. I can look back and realize how kind of stupid I was as a kid, but then also appreciate the vulnerability that, that is Chris Kravitz and Dashboard Confessional. So
what did you give Death Cab last week? Was that also a 2?
I reluctantly gave it a 2. Yes, you forced me to give it a 2. Yeah. So, but this honestly is way better than Transatlanticism. Much better than that record. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, okay. All right.
Come on, you're so stupid.
Okay.
All right. So that's all I got for this one. Thank you for listening. Sad Boy season continues. Actually ends next week. We get into a huge band. Probably, arguably the biggest sad boys of all. We're getting into them next week. So
this has got the most influential sad boy music, right?
Yeah, and it's not Morrissey or the Smiths. So you could probably guess who it is. We're not going to say we've already given hints. So yeah, thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, tell all your friends, and that's it. That's all.